So my first question for you is, what is adversity? And if you can just, the first thing that comes to mind, if you can type that on in your chat window, that would be great. We'll give a couple seconds to let everyone do that. And Tara, you can let us know what we come up with.
Charlene says trying times. Gloria says struggle. Nancy, anything that challenges us out of our normal life. Sean says challenges, unforeseen circumstances. Liz says challenges. Rebecca says difficulties.
Okay. All right. And you're all on cue. And I love just hearing those names that I just heard, because I think the world of all of those folks. So thank you for sending in your thoughts. And really, when we look up the definition, there's a variety of words that come to mind: difficulties, misfortune, hardship, troubles. Many of you hit it right on the head there, that when we deal with adversity, these are the things that come to mind. And one thing that we do know is that our fight or flight instinct typically tells us to run in the opposite direction or to retreat to a safer place when adversity is upon us. So typically that place we like to call our comfort zone. And we want to explore a little bit more about your particular comfort zone right now. So thinking about your comfort zone, this is when I would encourage you to just, take a piece of paper out and think about this, because I really want you to, again, write the first thing that comes to mind. The first thing I'm going to ask you is there a specific place or space that you would define as your comfort zone? And what is that? It could be your home, driving in your car on a backcountry road, your backyard, sanctuary. It could be larger. It could be your hometown or a particular place or even a park. When I was at WVU, I actually took a course called The Meanings of Place. And when we really think about the places that mean the most to us in our life and how it makes us feel when we can retreat there and when we can go there, it's very special. My husband and son actually decided that their tree stand that they shared when hunting was one of their favorite spaces that they've ever had. Watching the forest come alive in the morning, sharing discoveries, having deep conversations, and of course, occasionally even being lucky enough to shoot a deer. But so much of that was so special to them that they both recently had the coordinates of that deer stand tattooed on their backs. So there's a little inside scoop for you, but so sometimes places mean so much to us that we just hold them so dearly that it's very important. Not suggesting that you have those tattooed on your back for certain. So places and spaces. The next thing I want you to identify are who are the people that are in your comfort zone. And maybe there's some people that you would like to be in your comfort zone that aren't there right now, and that's difficult. But those people are the ones you can be 100% yourself with. You can be relaxed. You're fully accepted. They're your best friends. Oftentimes they're your family members. But identifying who those people are that you want to include in your comfort zone. The next thing is to really look at what activity is going on in your comfort zone, or maybe there is an inactivity, that it's just relaxing, it's just being carefree, it's not doing much. So what are you doing in what's happening? For some people, actually contemplating the universe and creating new ideas and being able to collaborate is a great activity to do in their comfort zone with other people that they trust and love. And then, of course, we all know about comfort food. In fact, during the beginning of this pandemic, they said pizza and cookie sales skyrocketed. And obviously, that's kind of mellowed off a little bit. We realize that we can't live on pizza and cookies alone, although they are a great treat on occasion, certainly. So our comfort zone is really our refuge. It is our safe space. It provides consistency for us. We know what to expect there. It is often a reflection of who we are and what we love. So just really being able to envision and define your comfort zone is first and foremost of importance. Now, this is a conceptual framework that was originally focused on actually taking financial risk. And my daughter and I, looking at that, have modified it to really coincide with the current COVID situation that we're all undergoing. So as you can see, there are 4 zones. There's comfort, fear, learning, and growth. It is not always a one-way progression, but we can retreat to our comfort zones whenever we need to and whenever it is available. Sometimes our comfort zones are not available to us and we have to make do with what we have. What we do know is that we feel safe and we are in control when we are in our own comfort zone. Just want to pause for a moment and also say that if any question comes to mind or a comment, that you can write question and write your question or a comment. Tara will be collecting those throughout. I forgot to mention that. And we'll be able to explore some of those at the end of our session. So I just don't want you to wait to ask a question, but we will wait till the end to address it. All right, so the next thing is challenge by choice. My experience teaching both outdoor leadership and being a ropes course facilitator, we always operated under the challenge by choice perspective. We'll introduce you to some challenging, uncomfortable, and maybe even scary options. And you, as the participant or the student, really get to choose whether or not that's going beyond something that you can really do. How often have you chosen to challenge yourself in the past? Have you returned to school? I see many of my prior students here, and I know you have. So you've taken on that challenge, even for some of you later in life, which is even more challenging. Have you learned to play a new instrument? Have you applied for a new job? Did you apply to be in Leadership Institute? And there are many Leadership Institute graduates also in today's session, and I thank you. Did you decide to just up and move? Did you ever complete a ropes course or a challenge course? Did you face your fears? I had an uncle that took a job in Easton and he was fearful of driving over the Bay Bridge, and he wanted this job. So he made himself one day drive across the Bay Bridge 8 times, across and back 8 times to meet his fear, because he knew that he needed to do that in order to work on the other side of the bay. What about flying, public speaking? When was the last time that you took a leap of faith? And for those that have been on a ropes course, this particular challenge is called the pamper pole, and you can only imagine why. You climb up this pole and it really wobbles back and forth. You get yourself to the top, and then you have to get your body up on a very narrow platform. And once there, you have to stretch out and leap, take a leap of faith to reach the trapeze that's 6 feet in front of you. Now, the interesting thing about this is that you have a 50-50 shot. Most people can't reach that trapeze, but the fact that you're challenging yourself and that you're putting yourself out there is sometimes more important than the success that might come as a result of that challenge. So the thing with challenge by choice, though, is that you are in control. You get to decide. Even though these choices can create anxiety and fear, you are in control and have made that decision to take the leap of faith. So enters the fear zone. And in the fear zone, where most of us were, at least initially when the coronavirus started, and may have continued throughout this time, I have one good friend that says, you know, I have good days and bad days. Sometimes I just want to hide away and pretend that this is not happening. Some days I'm really just ready to go, and I'm ready to take the world on and challenge all the challenges that come with it. And I think that's normal. I think that's very acceptable. But in the fear zone, we can see that our main fears are the health and well-being of our family and our friends, that we're fearful of the actions of others, from our government officials and the decisions that are made on our behalf, all the way down to the person in the grocery store who's not adhering to the X's on the floor or going the wrong way up the right aisle. So, we're fearful of what others are doing to maybe put us at risk.